Hey, I wasn't planning to record this right now, but after living with the Q990F for weeks, I just have to tell you what this actually feels like when you use it every day. This isn't for someone who thinks TV audio is okay. This is for the kind of listener who notices when footsteps don't have weight, when explosions feel flat, when music lacks direction, someone who knows sound should move you instead of just exist. Deep down you know your setup should match the quality of the picture, not hold it back. Before you go any deeper, take a second to check the current price and availability. Systems this complete don't stay steady in stock or price, and hesitation is exactly how the moment slips away. You know that moment, maybe during a movie where a pivotal score felt lifeless, or a game where directional audio cues didn't place you in the scene, or a sports broadcast where crowd energy felt muted, and you thought, this should feel bigger? That's when you realize you've outgrown compromise. Your old setup wasn't bad, it just wasn't alive. Once you feel the difference, you won't want to go back. Putting the Q990F in place didn't just add channels, it flooded the room with intention. Dialogue suddenly felt anchored instead of floating. Ambient cues didn't just come forward, they wrapped above and around me. Explosions didn't just make noise, they inhabited space. Music had texture instead of fuzz. And with Q-Symphony working with a TV, everything felt connected instead of disjointed, like the soundtrack and visuals were finally in the same conversation. I've lived with this in real moments, late-night film marathons where every cue finally mattered, weekend gaming sessions where spatial cues actually helped my reactions instead of confusing them, playlists that sounded richer and fuller instead of muddy, and everyday TV where voices came through clear and anchored without hunting for the remote. This system doesn't just play audio, it sculpts it so every moment feels intentional. When you're right there in the experience, you don't care about numbers or badges. You care about how it feels in the room. Don't stall thinking I'll wait for a better deal or maybe next month. That hesitation is exactly what leads to the regret where, months from now, you look back and think, I could have been enjoying this all along. If you're wondering whether Dolby Atmos, Game Mode Pro, and adaptive sound actually matter, let me reframe that. Once you feel sound that exists around you instead of just blasting forward, anything weaker feels like you're listening through a veil. This doesn't just output audio, it places it with clarity, direction, and purposeful impact. Here's something most people don't expect, it doesn't just make things louder, it makes them meaningful. You start catching details you never noticed before, the subtle ambience around a score, the texture in an explosion, the depth of dialogue that suddenly feels anchored in space. Explosions hit with weight, not blur. Music feels layered, not thin. Dialogue feels natural, not distant. Positional cues feel intentional, not vague. Your whole room finally feels part of the moment. Yeah, it takes a bit of room breathing space, and once you hear genuine surround depth, anything flatter feels hollow. Eventually you stop cycling through endless options and pick the one that already feels right, the one that keeps pulling you back when you think, that's the sound I want every time. So check the current price and availability now. If you've been waiting for the sign that your entertainment deserves real presence, immersive clarity, and sound that actually matches what you're watching and feeling, this is it.